SEC West fans. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. Talking Auburn football, go ahead and subscribe to Vernon Speak Sports Auburn. And also, I'm going to leave the link to the Cash App, $ Kennard Stewart at Cash App. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. Who would have thunk it? Excuse me. It's mid-October, and of course, my voice is trying to leave me a little bit, but I'm going to get it back. Auburn takes on Arkansas. Auburn 4-2. Arkansas 4-2. Arkansas, the 17th ranked team in the country, is going to take place with a CBS game that is going to kick off at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time and 12 o'clock Eastern Time. Here's what I like most about this game. I ain't got nothing to do that day, so I'm going to be able to watch the whole game. As a matter of fact, this is one of the first few years, especially with my line of work, that I've actually been able to. I watched the Penn State game. I watched the portions of the Georgia game. I didn't catch the end of it. And, of course, the first two, Alabama State and Akron, I wasn't really on edge trying to watch that anyway because I knew what was going to happen. So, for the first time, I want to say no, that's not true. Because the 2010 Auburn versus Arkansas game was a very pivotal game. As a matter of fact, Arkansas was at a point to where they probably should have won that game against Cam Newton and the squad. A lot of things went Auburn's way. Auburn wins that game. But man, now, we look at who would have thought that Alabama would actually help every team in the SEC West to have a chance. The only team that's on the outside kind of sort of looking in is Texas A&M, who has 2 losses in the SEC. Everybody else, it's a dead-ass tie in the SEC West. Who would have thunk it? The hunt for Red October is actually really in full effect. Auburn taking on Arkansas. Arkansas is obviously the favorite in this game. Las Vegas bettors says that Arkansas should beat Auburn by at least 4.5 points with an over-under of 54. Now in the comment section, let me know what you gonna pick. You gonna pick the Arkansas at the 4.5 with the over or the under? Come on, don't be quiet. Raise your hands. Let me know what you're gonna do. If it were me, looking at video footage of both teams, I'm definitely picking the under on this one. I think both teams' defenses are very viable. I think they are going to come into this football game, even though unfairly, at 12 o'clock p.m. It's a lot at stake here. It's definitely a lot at stake here. Arkansas coming off the big win over Texas A&M and rolling the dice. I thought they were in Vegas this past weekend. They rolled the dice and tried to win the game outright instead of pushing the envelope to push this thing into overtime. Hey, Sam Pittman, this is your second year. You do whatever the hell you want to do. You made your point. You've shown that you can turn this Arkansas football program around from what a lot of the talking heads and fan base want to call a dumpster fire. Rumor has it you should have beat Auburn last year. Bo Nix with the errant spike. Yeah, you got a big chip on your shoulders coming into this Auburn game. You got a lot of bulletin board material. And what's going to really help you out, Sam Pittman, is the fact that Smoke Monday, who really helps this Auburn squad get in position in that secondary, you ain't got to worry about him for a whole half. So what you going to do, Sam Pittman? This is a big game for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Pressure is on for Sam Pittman. Now, of course, pressure's on for Brian Harsin because Brian Harsin's got the toughest schedule in the country. You got LSU, who's on a downstride, and now maybe there's a strong possibility that you might not see Coach O. You might not see him next year, but at the same time, LSU recruits among the best in the country. You got Georgia, who's always recruits well. We're not going to take away anything from Kirby Smart, but we ain't going to give him nothing either because he inherited a top 10 recruiting class. Then on top of that, to make matters worse or better, at the end of the year, the Auburn Tigers have Alabama as their season finale. Now, here's the good part. Now, if Auburn really takes advantage of this and get the win over Arkansas, because see, the worst thing that can happen, especially if you've played any kind of football before. I never played college football before because, they work too hard. I walked on, I was like, nope, they work too hard. But if you're going into a bye week, you got to go in that thing with the win. Auburn has the capability. Auburn has the situational playmanship to actually pull this thing off. But we got to figure out what Auburn team is going to show up. So, let's look at the numbers real quick. My goodness. KJ Jefferson out of Sardis, Mississippi. He's got 1,235 yards for the year. Right? And then his homeboy at Auburn, Bo Nix, actually has 1,196 yards. So they're eerily similar. The only thing is KJ Jefferson gets a lot more when he passes the ball than Bo Nix does. Bo Nix with 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. KJ Jefferson, that also both guys are equally able to run the football as well. KJ Jefferson's got 9 touchdowns and 3 INTs, very costly INTs too. As a matter of fact, I think a couple of those probably came against Georgia. I'm too lazy to do the research. So, when we go to the next category, I don't know what it is in October. I always tend to lose my voice, but I am going to get through this video. I want to give a big shout out to the Auburn fan base. Also to the Georgia fans that support me as well. I would be remiss to not mention Salty Dog. How about them dogs? Can you hunker down? Right? Also, I would be remiss to not mention one of my very first few subscribers that happened to be a Georgia fan. And y'all pick on him and y'all beat him up in the comment section. And I somewhat allow you to because he's a strong guy. That's Danny Blackman. He's going to be up in here too. So I appreciate him as well. But either way, who would have thought this? Jarquez Hunter out of Philadelphia, Mississippi, Neshoba High School. This dude was playing high school football last year. 47 carries, 465 yards. He leads Auburn's rushers. Right? Now, here's the skinny on Jarquez Hunter. He's averaging 9.9. He gets the first down every time on average. He gets a first down every time he touches the football. Right? What you going to do against Arkansas, though, Jarquez? That's what we want to know. Tank Bigsby actually scored the first touchdown against Georgia since South Carolina, I think. Yeah. So we need that 1-2 punch out of the Auburn Tigers coming into this Arkansas game. Traylon Smith, number 22. Now, here's what Auburn doesn't want to happen. Traylon Smith in conference play has averaged 5.5 yards per carry. Auburn has done relatively well against the run. Auburn's got to keep that up. And another thing, as we talk about this Auburn versus Arkansas preview, the chunk plays have got to stop. Teams have been able to go over the top against Auburn in this zone coverage, zone man coverage, where you leave the field cornerback on an island. We got to get some help over the top, Derek Mason. Let's get it. Let me know what you guys think. Auburn versus Arkansas preview. Now, I might be being biased, but I think probably one of the most intriguing SEC West matchups of the week. It's a low down, dirty shame that this game is being played at 12 o'clock Eastern time. Even more of a shame that it's being played at 11 a.m. Eastern time. This is a primetime matchup. My name is Kennard Vernon Stewart. Vernon Speaks Sports Auburn. Like the video or dislike it, whatever you want to do. Get some engagement going. Leave some comments in the comment section. I want to welcome all of the Arkansas fans. As a matter of fact, Arkansas fans, I might have a treat for you on Friday to where I have a Arkansas talking head on the channel Friday. Just got to do the logistics. He's a real cool guy. We've done this before. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.